Amnesia is almost bringing these two worlds and into the visual realm in my head for me, and how that kind of, how could that be, but somehow in my head it makes perfect sense that, when, we think amnesia is this kind of inevitable illness within human being, and then to think of that as a violent thing of forgetting certain things. Obviously that then immediately takes me into my work and my kind of, let's say, boldness of mark making, and on one hand, and this kind of very, let's say, persistence, this kind of let's say, action that took place during the kind of the conception of the show. This black canvas has been kind of repeatedly hit against the gallery wall. When we started talking about the show, I started thinking about what it means to offer my practice a platform now. Speaking from a social, cultural, aesthetic context, as we see, as the audience will have the opportunity to see in the show, that the exhibition goes beyond the confines of a beautiful or two beautiful gallery spaces, and in fact it uses, let's say, a certain kind of loose connection or relationship that I have. I have a very strong relationship to the UK. I grew up here, but to kind of use that loosely as an entry point to think about histories and how I can bring in those histories to give my work a kind of reading, let's say, or a kind of platform and the starting point. And then, as we see in this room, to let aesthetic and energies kind of manifest themselves. I was born in Colombia and I grew up, came to the UK in the mid-90s. The biggest impact of all was not to simply just use that reality as the only foundation of the practice, and to very quickly see myself as an individual, as a human being, which has the freedom to navigate the world. I think travel or traveling, it has different realities. It is a desire and a way to accrue knowledge and experience of diversity, multiplicity, and in that way kind of educate myself further. And I think the work naturally has a connection, or has become connected to that. It is this kind of constant desire to connect to diversity and not to be binary. In this show, I have to very importantly highlight this inclusion of very beautiful, painting, drawing work of what is, in which my first encounter with his work was several years ago in a solo show he had at Stuart Sheffield in Art in London. As I found during the show, they came from Kettle's yard. So it's ironic that here I am now doing a show. And obviously, the admiration goes further into thinking about geography and travel and movement, and the sea, and we know we're going to be political. What the sea represents, or what the ocean represents, has represented throughout existence. One of those remarkable pleasures of having to be here. It's not just a gallery and let's say the contemporary aspect, but the history, in relation to Jimmy Eade and his work, as a beyond the curator. Also a kind of traveler too, and collector of things and objects and work, and to have the freedom of sorts to kind of bring in aspects of my work into that context. When thinking about an audience, I think a lot of it is about also wanting the audience to feel that kind of, whether the show might be, even within kind of seriousness, I want the audience to take with them a kind of pleasure, a kind of pleasure of curiosity that is not necessarily focused in or settled within one kind of linear, let's say, topic or narrative.